Stand by, everyone. Another result alert coming in. This time around in the northeastern state of Gombe. What we have for you is incumbent governor Muhammad Yahya, who is now won the election by 342,821 votes, defeated Muhammad Bade of the PDP, who polled through 133,000 votes, 131. This is another APC state that has been retained in the northern region of the country. Kule.
Well, for me, Gombe State has always been, since the PDP lost Gombe State in 2019, it's been quite a little tussle between both parties for this state. I would say of the move into the northeast by the APC, I must say, is quite impressive for their tactical look at dominating the country entirely. Gombe also has something critical, that the PDP is a state the PDP really wanted to fight over, considering that it's proximate to Bauchi, which the PDP controls through Governor Bala Mohammed, and I'm sure his own results will be coming up soon. But Gombe is a sister state which was taken out of Bauchi state, and the PDP is a state they've tried. If you notice, the margins aren't massive, and that shows the fight for the state while an incumbent is in control. I think this is one of the closest with an incumbent governor, but we're yet to see other states.
Of course, the result alert right here, before we make sense of the figures, such that we can get perspective on how we come by, how we got to this point. Governor of Gombe State getting a re-election, but winning with and not so much. Well, it's so much in an election that is tightly contested. 342,821, 233,131 votes. That is what is closest rival garnered in this election, where you had almost over 10 people running in that race. Another state that the APC has been able to retain. This was a keenly contested race. There were drums that there might be some upset in this election, but the governor has shown that he's on the ground. He's been able to poll over 300,000 votes. Jide, give us some sense of the figures that we are getting right now.
So what has happened in Oyo State in Nigeria's southwest is what has happened in Gombe State. What do I mean, Sean? 6 states in the northeast. Across all the states in the northeast, the PDP's Atiku Abubakar won all the states in the northeast during the presidential election, excluding Borno State. In other words, every other state in Nigeria's northeast region during the presidential election, excluding Borno State, was won by the PDP. In this election, Gombe State presidential election won by the PDP. The governor, APC, has been able to hold on to his seat. So it will be interesting to find out. There are 4 other states in the northeast where we're expecting the first-time governors, where we're expecting results from first-time governors. So all again, all the states in the northeast.
Yeah, Gombe, in the presidential election, PDP defeated the APC. PDP had 319,123 votes in the presidential election, but the pattern has changed. It does look that they wanted another man for the job at the center, but another man they voted for, which is incumbent governor for the governorship seat in the state.
Exactly. The governorship seat in Gombe State is going to be interesting as we see the other states in the northeast. Why, Sean? 6 states in the northeast. 5 of those states, first-time governors that are seeking re-election. The only state in Nigeria's northeast that you do not have a sitting governor that is coming back is Taraba State, and because Taraba State, the governor is on his second term. Every other state in the northeast, the 5 other states, Borno, Adamawa, Yobe, Bauchi, Gombe, all the 5 states in the northeast have first-time governors that are on the ballot. Out of these 5 states that have first-time governors, we've seen the results from Gombe now. We're expecting results from Borno, expecting results from Adamawa, expecting results from Yobe, and expecting results from Bauchi.
All right, so this is a presidential election, and this is how it looked like. This is how Atiku Abubakar played his game in the northeast, and the PDP played the game in the northeastern region of the country. Out of all the 6 states in the northeastern region of the country, PDP conveniently and comfortably defeated the APC and other political party, except for Borno State, won by the APC. So in Yobe, Bauchi, Gombe, Taraba, and Adamawa State, PDP held sway, winning that. But it does look to me that the patterns are changing in the governorship election. What could have changed there?
Several things could have changed that. The first is, if you look at Lagos, people talk about a bat Bola Ashwaju Tinubu. In the Northeast, they also have their own bats. They're talking about Bauchi, Adamawa, Taraba states, BAT. Those 3 states are controlled right now by the PDP. Those 3 states will be having governorship elections, and those 3 states have been able to find out that there's a difference between voting for a party and voting for a personality. And in the Northeast, during the presidential election, the results show that people voted for the personality of the Waziri of Adamawa, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
It's interesting. This is what the presidential map looked like, and I'm bringing this back so you can get a sense of what happened when a lot of people say the patterns for presidential election and governorship election often change. This is what plays out. In the era of beavers, things are also dramatically changing. Revolutionary differences. There are a lot of trouble that our election has faced in this period, but then with all of these colors that are emerging, looking at what Peter Obi did in the presidential election, gaining ground in the South and the Southeast region of the country, and holding sway in Lagos, and going to the North Central region of the country, and controlling a huge presence here in Plateau, Nasarawa, and FCT. He has dismantled what a lot of people have called, a traditional voting bloc, and he's painted the Nigerian political map differently. But if you look at it right now, the PDP now sprinkle their colors across Nigeria. APC also have been threatened, and some other grounds have been gained by other political parties. But let's look at this again.
Let's look at this. We keep an eye on this. Why we keep an eye on this? Because remember, out of these 28 states that have governorship elections shown, when these same states in the presidential election, one of those states was won by the NNPP. 8 of those states won by the Labour Party. The APC won 9 of those states. The PDP won 10 of those states. The question Nigerians are asking right now is that will majority of the way people voted during the presidential election, are we going to see that same pattern in these governorship elections? We've seen 2 states that have defied that. Oyo State voted APC, PDP for the governorship. We see that in Gombe State as well. In Gombe State, PDP won the presidential in Gombe State. APC won the governorship in Gombe State. So it will be interesting as we see the 26 other results. I think we have results from Ogun State. We are finding things interesting in Kwara State as well.
You look at that, this is how the map is looking like right now, and things are dramatically changing. We come back. This is a wrap-up. Of course, things as of now are based on the number of results we are able to populate on this board, and giving you a sense of how things are dramatically changing. It will be changing. It's going to be a long night. We're here to keep you coming and bring you up to speed with how things are changing. You see in the dark colors there, the state where elections did not hold for the governorship race, and those are 8 states. The FCT inclusive making 9. Now, Kogi, Ekiti, Osun, Ondo, Edo, Anambra, Imo, and Bayelsa State. These are the states that holds off-cycle elections because of court cases and all of those litigation. FCT, no governorship seats there, and no House of Assembly seat. So there were no elections in the FCT. But if you look at the map as it shows right now, shows where the APC is gaining ground. It looks to me that most of the northern part of the country, APC is gaining ground, and we're seeing a lot of sprinkle of the PDP there, and PDP is also gaining grounds in a few states. We'll be coming back to that in a moment.